Hello, my people. Good day to you, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whatever time zone you're listening to this, thank you for tuning in every single day to listen to me on Daily Mind Shifts. My name is Michael Ujola for Mindset Transformation Africa, and on today's episode, I want to talk about authenticity. All right, let me anchor today's episode on this statement. Be authentic. When you begin to think less of what others thought of you, that is when you will be able to really think. Be authentic. All right. When you begin to think less of what others thought of you, that is when you will be able to really think. Let that statement sit with you for a moment. I mean, think about it very well. Think about it deeply. Really sit with that statement. We live in a world where opinions are louder than truth. Likes, comments, and shares have somehow become the measure of how much we are worth, of our values. But my friends, today I want to just remind you of something foundational. Your authenticity is your superpower. And the moment you stop obsessing over what others think of you, you will unlock a level of freedom, a level of clarity, a level of creativity that will change your life. And that is what I want us to talk about in the next couple of minutes. Let's start by asking this particular tough question. Why do we care so much about what others think of us? Why do we care so much about what others think of us? I think it's a question that cuts really deep. It's human nature to want acceptance. I think that's the truth. We all want to be accepted. Since the beginning of time, humans have this need. We've needed community to survive. Back in the day, being part of the group meant you're safe, meant you have the chance to survive. Being a cast out or an outcast is dangerous. You might die, literally die. Fast forward to today, and while we are no longer running from predators, lions, and bears, the same need for acceptance and belonging still runs through our veins. We want to be liked, okay? We want to be validated. We want to know we are enough. But here's the catch. When we place too much weight, too much emphasis, too much credence or importance on what others think, we lose ourselves in the process. I want you to think about it like this. How many times have you held back from saying something because you are afraid of how it will be received? How often have you dressed, spoken, or behaved in a certain way just to fit in? How much of your mental energy goes into wondering, what will they think of me? See, I need you to learn this. When you are constantly adjusting yourself to fit someone else's expectations, you are not living authentically. You are living as a reflection of their opinions. It's important for you to know that there is a cost associated with seeking approval. It's important for you to know that. When you prioritize what others think over what you know to be true about yourself, you lose your voice. That's the cost. You silence your opinions, your ideas, or your truth to avoid conflict or judgment. And over time, your voice becomes a whisper, even to yourself. Then you compromise your values. That is another price that you pay for seeking approval. See, to gain approval, you might start by bending your own values. Maybe you agree to things that don't really align with you or who you are, or you stay silent in situations where you should have spoken up or speak up. You lose and start compromising your values. Then you discover that your growth starts stunting. See, when you are consumed by external validation, you stop taking risks. You stop exploring new opportunities because failure might mean judgment. And without risks, there is no growth. Then you start living in fear. Let's call it what it is. It is fear. The fear of rejection, the fear of not being good enough, the fear of being misunderstood, the fear. See, my friends, fear is the ultimate cage. This is what I want you to remember. The cost of seeking approval is far greater than the discomfort of embracing authenticity. Let me repeat that. The cost of seeking approval is far greater than the discomfort of embracing authenticity. See, now let's ask, what happens when you decide to stop caring so much about what others think and start embracing who you really are? I think the answer is freedom. When you let go of the need for approval, you step into a freedom that is hard to describe, but it is undeniable when you really feel it. It's undeniable. You stop living for people. You stop living for them. You start living for value. You start living for purpose. You start living for your worth and for yourself. This is what happens when you embrace authenticity. You find clarity. When you are not consumed by other people's thoughts, you have the mental space to think clearly. You start to understand what you want, what you believe, and what you stand for. And you start attracting the right people. When you are authentic, you stop attracting people who only like the version of you that is wearing a mask. Instead, you start building relationships with people who love you for who you really are. You discover your true confidence also. Confidence is not about being liked by everyone. No, it's about liking yourself. It's about improving yourself to a point that you like yourself. When you embrace authenticity, you stop looking for confidence outside of yourself and you start building it within you. Okay, you tap into your creativity. When you are not worrying about judgment, your mind becomes a playground for ideas. You can think freely. You can dream boldly. You can create without any limit. This is my advice to you today. Choose authenticity every single day. Make it a daily choice. All right, make it a daily choice. Don't choose authenticity today and the next 1 week you are still cowering behind people. Every day you are faced with moments where you can either stay true to yourself or bend to fit someone else's expectations. See, when you are in a meeting and everyone is nodding their head, do you have the courage to speak up with a different perspective? When you are scrolling through social media, do you post something genuine or do you create a version of yourself, of your life that looks perfect but is not real? When someone criticizes you, do you shrink and conform or do you stand firm in what you know to be your truth? See, authenticity is built in these everyday moments. It is not always easy to be an authentic person, especially in this world that is plagued with fakery, but it is always worth it. All right, it is always worth it. Here is how you can stop thinking about what others think of you. Number one is to know your value. Okay, know your value. When you are clear on your value system, it becomes easier to make decisions that align with who you are. Take some time to reflect. What matters to you? All right, what do you stand for? And then you practice what I call self-acceptance. The more you accept yourself, the less you will crave acceptance from other people. Start by acknowledging your strengths and weaknesses and remind yourself that you are enough just as you are. You are growing and you are becoming better every single day. Also, set boundaries, okay? Protect your energy. See, if there are people in your life who constantly criticize or judge you, it is okay to create distance. It is okay. Surround yourself with people who lift you up, not tear you down. Then you focus on your growth. Instead of worrying about what others think, focus on becoming the best version of yourself. When you are growing, when you are evolving, external opinions start to matter less. And that is why it is important for you to focus on your growth. Then you embrace your imperfection because you are human. You don't have to be perfect to be worthy. In fact, it is your imperfections that make you relatable, that makes you human. Let go of that pressure to be perfect or to be flawless. Let it go. See, at the heart of this particular mind shift today is a message from living externally to living internally. When you live externally, you are constantly looking outside yourself for validation, direction, or worth. You are at the mercy of other people's opinions, which are often inconsistent and unreliable. But when you live internally, you operate from a place of self-awareness and self-worth. You are grounded in your truth and you are not easily swayed by outside noise. This shift doesn't happen overnight, but it starts with a decision. And that decision is what I want you to make today. The decision to prioritize